Well, for more on China's emphasis on innovation as well as research and development, we're joined by Dan Ye. He's CEO of CollgeNode, an organization focused on education research. Welcome, Dan.
How are you, Rachelle?
Good, thank you. So we know that we've seen China become a world leader in terms of the number of trademark and patent filings that we've seen, and also this move for higher quality, higher value goods. What sort of progress is China making overall on the technology front?
Well, China is making tremendous progress in the last 10 years, in the last 20 years. Back in the 1990s and 2000s, you see China as mainly a producer of low-end goods without its own intellectual property. But in the last, I would say, decade, the country has made tremendous amount of progress. You can see this by the amount of intellectual property filing the country has accumulated. And you can see development in biotechnology, in artificial intelligence. These are the high-value IPs of the future. In about 20 years, it is estimated that half of the job 20 years from now has not yet been created. And most of those jobs will come out of these valuable IPs. And in many sectors, China has already taken the leadership.
So then would you say that China is essentially becoming a real superpower when it comes to innovation?
Yes, I have to say China is, and it's happening so quickly that many in the West have not anticipated. So partially this is because of retreat in the United States. We have an administration which have underinvested in research development, whereas in China, the government has definitely taken the leadership in terms of pumping money into research, putting money into venture capital. And in the last, I would say, 5 years, you are beginning to really see the fruits of these investments.
So then what sort of business environment and policies really help foster innovation in a country?
Well, so there are several angles that help innovation. One is obviously money. The more research funding you put into universities, it helps a lot, not in terms of creating good IP, but creating talents all around the world. It used to be that in the 80s and 90s, there's a tremendous brain drain from China. Some of the best and the brightest come from China to the United States, and they tend to stay in the United States. Whereas now, as a result of China's investment into research development, you're beginning to see a reverse brain drain. These are not just the overseas Chinese returning, but many Americans are going to China to take up research positions and faculty positions. And this is tremendously beneficial to the Chinese economy. Another part that could help the innovation economy is regulation. Lack of uncertainty definitely helps. And again, this is an area where you see the United States going a little bit backwards. This tariff, which the president unveiled, is something that many people were not expecting. And for the business community, the worst thing you can do is uncertainty, because it's very hard to invest and plan for the future when you don't know what's coming out of the pipeline.
Right.
And again, a stable regulatory environment has been a hallmark of China's for the last 10 years.
And we've certainly seen that with their plans for 2025. We've seen them focus on a range of different areas of innovation, including new energy vehicles, robotics, aerospace. Where is China leading already, and how do they stack up against the United States?
So there are a few sectors that China is already leading. For example, biotechnology. The CRISP technology is one particular area in which China has already been way ahead of the United States. And that's partially because our restrictions on funding in this country against some of the CRISP technology. Also, you're seeing battery research, ultracapacitor research, where China has gone way ahead of the United States. And I think that reflects government's focus on this technology as early as 2005. We're also seeing artificial intelligence. China is playing catch up, and right now, Tencent, Baidu can go head to head with US titans like Facebook and Google.
Now it's interesting because a lot of those same high-tech sectors that China wants to invest more in actually are on the list that the U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer recommended for tariffs. How do you see that either shaping or affecting how China proceeds on these things going forward?
Well, it's very counterproductive to put tariffs on these high-tech products from another country. I think China has plenty of money, so it has the money to fund its own research development. It's a very open economy in which the best and the brightest is already going to China. So by putting tariff on Chinese high-tech goods as a way to discourage the development of these goods to help domestic industries is totally counterproductive. And I think this is a reflection of a lack of preparation on the United States end in terms of how to help our industry. If you want to help our tech industry, you dedicate more funding to the industry. You make it easier for the foreigners to get H-1B visa to work in this country. That's the right way to help our tech industry, not by putting a tariff on a competitor's product.
All right. Well, thank you so much, as always, for your insights. Dan Yeh, CEO of CollgeNode. Thank you.